find yourself confused or second guessing yourself or even drained in your romantic relationships, early on, many women ignore the red flags only to end up with emotional damage later. In this video, I'm going to discuss 5 early red flags that this man is toxic and is going to lead to an unhealthy relationship. If you're new here, welcome to Heal the New Sexy, where we discuss all things healing, self-love, and relationships. My name is Cynthia. I am a licensed therapist and relationship coach. I'm going to look down because I have some notes. It's so important that when you're in your journey of healing, that you don't need to fall into the hands of a toxic man. Something that I've seen as a therapist and as a coach, I see brilliant women, high achieving, successful women in their healing journey only to fall into the trap or fall into the hands of a toxic man. Then what happens is they swear off dating, they swear off relationships, and then they're right back in the healing cycle. I don't want that for you, okay? If you pay attention to these 5 red flags and early signs, you're going to protect your heart, you're going to protect your time and your energy, okay? Toxicity doesn't just hurt your heart, it affects your self-esteem, your energy, and your entire well-being. I myself am no stranger to toxic relationships. I am not. I grew up in a home, and I'm not sure if you know this or you've heard this in my previous videos. I grew up in a home with domestic violence, and then I found myself in a relationship that included domestic violence. I found myself having to do my own healing journey. I found myself having to work on my self-esteem, having to work on my confidence. And when you work on those things, it then translates into your self-worth and your value. It's so important that you understand the gravity of being in a toxic relationship. And I'm sure you have, and that's why you're watching this video. Or if you've never been in a toxic relationship, maybe you are a Gen Z. I have a few Generation Alpha that watch the videos. You may be learning about what a toxic relationship is. You may be learning about healthy dating, and I love that for you, right? I wish I had these resources when I was younger so I would understand the importance of healing before you date and how your childhood really impacts your dating. And that may be why you are in or you have experienced multiple tumultuous or dysfunctional relationships, because there could be something in your childhood driving that. But I'm not going to focus on that in this video. Today, I'm going to share with you these 5 signs. So number 1 is that he constantly invalidates your feelings. So you express a concern, and instead of listening, he calls you too sensitive, or he calls you crazy, or he calls you emotional. In my video, 10 things I would never do again, and I'll put the card up there so that you can watch it if you haven't. I discuss I'm not dating a man who's not happy for me, because I have in the past been excited about something only for him to be like, oh, that's no big deal. Do not date a man who invalidates your feelings. Do not date a man whose rationale excuse is, well, I'm just logical. He's invalidating your feelings, okay? Emotional invalidation makes you question your own reality and can lead to self-doubt. It causes you to minimize, it causes you to shrink. And that's so important that you're able to be your authentic self in any relationship that you're in. If he consistently dismisses your emotions, that's a sign he doesn't respect them or you, okay? There are many men who will invalidate how you feel, who will tell you that it's not that serious, who will tell you that you're making a big deal, especially if he's doing something that's causing you pain, right? That's not no big deal. Like, why are you tripping off of that? Don't accept that. This is a red flag. This is a concern. It's a warning sign, and you need to move on about your life. He should take your feelings seriously. Now, do women trip sometimes? Yeah, we do. But he should be able to provide comfort and insight and explanation depending on what the situation is, especially if it's something that he's done to you. Or let's say, something happened at work and you're venting. He shouldn't minimize it, right? If anything, he should join forces with you and be like, listen, we're going to go up there and we're going to drag Cynthia. Who is she talking to like that? All in jest, right? All in jest. Number 2, he controls or manipulates you. He makes you feel guilty for setting boundaries, or punishes you with silent treatment when you don't do what he wants. And also, I'm going to say, as relates to controls or manipulate, he coerces you. Okay, that means he's putting a lot of pressure for you to do something. This emotional manipulation, the purpose of silent treatment is to keep you in line. If you're one of my anxious attachment girlies, emotional manipulation works like magic on you. All right. And when a man figures this out, he's going to do it time and time again. The purpose of a man engaging in silent treatment, if that's one of the things he does, especially if you're an anxious attachment girly, is to flip a switch at you that starts to make you perform. It makes you lean in. Okay. And you lean in, and then you begin to ask him questions like, what is it that you need me to do? What do you want me to do? I don't want you to be mad at me. He could have injured you emotionally. And then he flips it on you, gives you the silent treatment, and now you lean in, you're quick to forgive. That is emotional manipulation. Manipulation can be even things like you guys go out to dinner and there's a girl who's it's clear that they know each other and she's being very flirty, and you're like, who's that? He's like, oh, don't worry about that. That's nobody. It's no big deal. Right? But he's like, you're so insecure. Like, a girl smiling at me means, why are you being so insecure? He's gaslighting you and he's manipulative. Okay. Let me go a little bit deeper. You're in a relationship with a man. He wants to have sex and you don't, right? So now he's around the house. He's giving you silent treatment. He's pouting. He's glaring. That's manipulation, because he wants you to engage in behavior that he wants. Listen, your body belongs to you. And if you say no, no means no. Okay. There's men who will coerce you into having sex. It's not, no. Okay. So don't let a man engage in manipulation. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, not control. Let me say this also as it relates to manipulation, especially if you live in a patriarchal society. There is this belief, the worth of a woman is tied into her relationship status, okay? And so many women seek validation and affirmation as it relates to being in a relationship. Men know that. So they engage in manipulation in order to control you. So there are many women who, if you haven't done your healing work, you may notice that you become very performative in order to maintain and keep a relationship. That is manipulation. If you see him playing as it relates to his sincerity of being in a relationship with you, that's a way to control you. Okay. Don't do that. Don't allow a man to manipulate you or to control you. Control may mean he tries to keep you from your family and your friends. Why do you talk to your mom all the time? What is it that you don't allow that? Oh, you don't need to hang out with your girlfriends. Why don't you hang out with me? He may present to be very needy and trying to take up all your time. Why aren't you answering the phone when I call you? That's control. You have to end that relationship quickly in a safe way. Okay. Now, number 3, he creates chaos and drama. One minute he's love bombing you, the next minute he's distant and cold. This push-pull dynamic is created specifically to create chaos in you so that you are better again or easier to manipulate and to control. The cycle of highs and lows keep you addicted to the good moments while ignoring the bads. One saying that I hate, especially when I'm doing coaching or therapy, is the good outweighs the bad. Something I always say to the women, I always give this example. I say, let's say the good is worth $5 and the bad is worth $1. Okay. If you say the good outweighs the bad, let's say 3 good things have happened. You're at $15, but 15 bad things have happened. You're at $15. That means that you can have these constant bad things happen, but you're always drawing on the good. That's called operant conditioning. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but I think it's called Pavlov's dogs. I think it was. And what happened was he would ring a bell and he would feed them. Ring a bell, feed the dogs. Ring a bell, feed the dogs. And what happened is that the dogs got conditioning to hearing the bell. Their what's the saliva glands? There's a term for it. I'm not medical. I'm a therapist. Okay. So if you're a nurse, tell them what the medical term is. They will go off. Could ring the bell and their mouth would start to water. But eventually he would ring the bell and not feed them. He would be inconsistent with that. You have to understand that this hot cold is to condition you so that you will stay in the relationship, because you keep fiending for the goodness of the relationship, okay? So any man that's love bombing you and then he's distant, he's love bombing you and then he's distant, red flag, warning sign, gotta go, okay? Consistency is key. If his behavior is a roller coaster, it's time to get off the ride. That's not the ride that you want to be on, okay? Because that behavior will continue from now until forever. It'll always be good times, super bad times. Good times, super bad times. It's important that he is consistent and you are consistent as well. Sign number 4. He disrespects your boundaries. You say you need space, but he pushes. You say you're uncomfortable with something and he does it anyway. You should be respected in your relationship. Whatever your boundaries are, whether it's no sex before marriage, whether it's you need specific time. Let's say you're, like I said, medical. You are in nursing school. You're like, babe, I am going to study with my group Saturdays from 10 to 2, and that's what I'm going to be doing. But then he plans something during that time. Well, why don't you just hang out with me? I'll take you to brunch. You don't have to. No, don't let no man sabotage your upward progress. Let me say that one more time, because I don't know who's watching this video, but I feel like somebody needs to hear that. Don't let no man sabotage your upward progress. That could be him getting you pregnant, or that could be him playing with you when you're trying to study and focus on something. Whatever your boundaries are, those are your boundaries. Period. And we don't have to explain boundaries. If you feel like your boundary is, I don't move in with a man before marriage. Well, why? I feel like it's very important for us to live together before we get married. You may feel that way, but I don't. And I'm not going to do anything I'm not comfortable with. If you allow him to disrespect your boundaries in dating, he will not respect you in marriage. He's not going to change. You will teach him that he doesn't have to respect you. So it's very important that you maintain your boundaries, whatever those are, okay? If your boundaries is, when we have a disagreement, you can't engage in name calling. You can't yell at me, and he gets loud and he yells, you say, hey, I don't like that. And he's like, so I'm grown, I can do what I want. He's not respecting your boundaries, and he will continue to talk to you like that. If your boundaries are that you believe that his mother is being disrespectful, and so you talk to him about that, and you believe that it's for him to correct her, and then y'all at the family picnic and she talking to you sideways because she over at your house like that TV show on Valentine's Day, and she wants you to pick up her plate, and you don't, and so now she talking to you sideways and he don't check it. Warning flag. Warning flag. It's important that a partner values you. It's important for you to know, forgive me, that a partner who values you will honor your boundaries, not bulldoze over them. Okay? He's not trying to sabotage your life. Don't allow a man, again, to disrespect your boundaries. If you going on a girls trip and he's like, well, I don't feel comfortable with you going on a girls trip. I don't like you. Like, what are you guys doing? Are you going out there to cheat? No, I'm not going out there to cheat. If you feel like that it's okay. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with going on a girls trip. I don't feel that there's anything wrong with that. But you need to understand that some men, right? Say you go on the girls trip and then he pops up. Boundary violation. No, sir, what are you doing here? Or he's calling you constantly so you can't even enjoy yourself. 1, he's violating your boundaries. 2, he's engaging in control and manipulation. You should be able to go out with your friends and he not call you and harass you. If anything, he should be like, girl, go and have a good time. Let me say something else, because I know I have a few moms who watch this. It's off topic, but it just came to my mind, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it. And if you want me to do a full video, let me do that. As it relates to creating chaos and drama, when you are a mom, sometimes the child's father, and I'm going up, this is part of sign 3, but I just have to say it. Sometimes it's not the person you're dating that's creating drama, it's your baby daddy. Check that, okay? Oh, you're a mom. You shouldn't be on TikTok dancing like that. Oh, you a mom. You shouldn't be out late. Oh, you a mom. He create chaos and boundaries and stuff, but he don't want to come pick up them kids. Don't allow that, okay? Don't allow that. And I'm going to do a video on that. You ain't got to tell me. I'm going to do a video on that. How to date Because you know what stepdaddy season. It's stepdaddy season. For all the mamas that's watching this video, put down below stepdaddy season, okay? It's stepdaddy season. Don't be fooled. All right. Number 5. I just had to say that because it just came to my mind, because some of this stuff, sometimes you end up in certain situations, like I said before, it's because you didn't pay attention to the warning signs, or you just didn't know they were warning signs, and that's okay. All right. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do something for the mamas. All right. Number 5. You feel more drained than fulfilled. I remember breaking up with a man and it felt like a weight lifted off my shoulders. I remember the day that I said, I can't do this anymore. And when I tell you, it was like the heavens said, oh, listen, the sky cracked. A dove said, this is Cynthia, my daughter. She is now in her right mind and ready to do what she need to do. Listen, you leave interactions with him feeling anxious, unappreciated, or mentally exhausted. What was that song that Cher said? I'm not going to sing because you know I can't carry no tune. But they said they feel it really unappreciated. Taking my love for granted, baby. I don't know how much more I can take from you. There it is. You don't do the things you used to do. You barely say, I love you, boo. But baby, feeling really unappreciated. Okay, so you feel unappreciated. There was a lady who commented in one of my videos. She said, Cynthia, I was doing everything, cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kids, giving him porn star sex, and he wasn't satisfied. I thought there was something wrong with me because I saw my mama do all of that. Listen, a warning flag is that you don't feel energized. You ever been around somebody and they make you feel like you're coming alive, and you're around somebody else and they draining you? No, you should not. It's a warning sign that if you feel drained around the person, no. Another warning sign, I'm just throwing this out there. Another warning sign is when they trigger you and you feel anxious, okay? You should not feel anxious around a person who you love. A healthy relationship should be safe. It shouldn't feel like an emotional burden. If you feel drained, if you got to go sit in the driveway and you sitting in the driveway before you go in the house because you got to get your mind right. If they call you, you're like, gosh, no, sugar. No, honey. No. Trust your body. This is something a lot of women don't trust. You got to trust your body. If your body gets tense around a person, if you feel anxious around a person, if you feel like nauseous around a person, you feel like something is off, your body is saying, warning, danger is here. Don't dismiss your body, okay? Don't dismiss what it's trying to tell you. It's telling you this person's not good for us. This is not a healthy space for us. It's not safe for us. That is what your body is telling you. And if you feel drained, zap around them. When you're around him, you should feel like you're walking on sunshine. You should be like you skipping through a field of tulips. If you are hollering, hey, that's how you should feel. You should not feel like, girl, I got to take a nap every time I'm around him. Can I say something? I'm going to go a little bit deep. And this is for my women who have been in a relationship before, okay? If you're a woman and you weren't able to perform or be aroused around him, you need to check that. Okay, I'm just going to leave that there. Now, join the membership because I may do a video on that. Sometimes your body will even physically reject a man who's not good for you. I may do a video, so join the membership. I'm going to click the link. The link will be in the description. And if you need a coaching call, that will also be in the description as well, okay? Trust your body. If being around them makes you feel worse, it's time to walk away. Let me tell you this. You're not crazy, needy, or asking for too much. You deserve a love that honors you. I want you to comment below if you're like, Cynthia, okay, I like these 5, but this is a warning flag that also needs to be talked about, because in the comments is where community begins, and you may help another one of the Heal Squad, because I can't cover everything in a video. Okay? Make sure you like, subscribe, and also please comment. As always, talk to you soon.